Hello, everybody. Let's get started for today's Town Hall meeting, September 19th, 2022. Today's agenda, products and development updates, marketing updates, collaboration updates, and Q&A. Robinson, let's start off with project and development updates, please.
Thank you. As usual, starting with the process improvements. So we have been working on the security and vulnerability management across various projects. We have zero vulnerabilities so we had vulnerabilities across many of the JavaScript-based DApps, primarily the Text and Next projects, also in our JavaScript library, which is the Peerplays JS library. So for these all three projects, there are no more known vulnerabilities existing. And we are also trying to make a production release for all these three of these projects. Two of them will have a production release which will be deployed, and the other one is a library which should be used across multiple products. And on the GitLab side, I would say that we are going slow, but we had a large number of outstanding PRs which is cleaned up, and also some of the older projects and issues are cleaned up. Now, I think the most important item is the epics. We still have those epics which needs to be manually cleaned up. That's on the process improvement. And generally, just a comment on the engineering metrics. So we are correcting some of our processes and everything, and I'm planning to share the updates on a monthly basis. And so early next month, we'll share more updates on our engineering metrics. And the blockchain side, the slide remains exactly same from the previous week. We have more or less the same activities and verification going on. And on the Ethereum side, like one of the developers was on vacation, he has joined back and resumed work on that. And on our move to the substrate based platform, we have started making checklists and everything. And soon we'll be starting development on that as well. And on the Hive hard fork, which is, I believe, 1.26, so we have a release candidate RC1, and all the functionality remains active and healthy against the release candidate. So that verification is also going on. And I think the hard fork for Hive was around October 15th. So until then, we'll keep an eye on Hive network. So this is our charts, pretty flat line for the previous week. The Dex UI, we are creating the final general availability release 1.00 production. So the merge request is merged and we are just waiting for the release to be created. And in the previous week, in addition to others, we also addressed few issues with client-side wallet. We are also changing the name of production releases from just a semantic version to semantic version -prod. This is done so that Hashtag, the engineering metrics tool, picks it up. So mostly today or tomorrow, we'll have a production release for the Dex UI. And that will be mostly the final release, except for any hot fixes that is coming on the Dex UI. These are our charts. We only have 4 issues outstanding and from this sprint. These 4 are to be items which are to be verified. So there's like 100% completion on the previous sprint. On the next, again, the slide remains same as the previous week. So we have been primarily working on various bug fixes and also node identification algorithm, which is to identify the closest node and connect to it. So whenever we're having challenges with the API nodes, it is troublesome to identify the active one and connect to it. So we're trying to address that. So those are our charts for the previous week for the next project. Trade hands. So we have on this NFT component project, we have few new components, user overview and couple of subroutes. Those are in progress. And there is a demo for user page available in the URL provided. We also have a new developer joining this team, and onboarding us is in progress because the developer is new to the Graphene chain and its API, so the onboarding is going to take a couple of weeks. On the NFT lottery, we have demo deployment and we're working on the test cases, which is more or less complete. So hopefully from next week, we'll start verifying this. So for the NFT lottery, our focus is on verifying the functionality on the blockchain. The UI is nothing to be proud of at this point, but once we have the collaborators' interests identified, we may work on extending the UI. On the Python side, we have been working on various functionalities related to Sun. So the delete functionality has been completed, and as part of cleaning up GitLab, we have been looking into various pull requests. We have reviewed and finalized few of them. I guess in addition to these, we're also working on proposal for Speak Network. So we have created some mockups, and we are working on the functionality documentation. So once we will have a presentation with them sometime this week, and once everything is approved, we'll start implementing those functionalities as well. So that's all from the development team. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Robinson. Michael, can you please start us off with marketing updates?
Thank you, Kelly. Good morning, everyone. I hope you all had a great weekend. I had a very short week last week, so my update will not be as fulsome as regular. But I wanted to let you know that I'm working with Salah to set up some test environments for our two primary websites, peerplays.com and enterthebunker.com. This will allow us to try out a bunch of different initiatives, including a redefinition of language, redefinition of how things look, and Salah will be reaching out to some of you to help set that up. I'm continuing to work on a market intelligence / persona development document that will be completed for the end of the week. Some of that information you guys probably know more than I do, but it's been a valuable exercise for me to get a handle on the global landscape with respect to cryptocurrencies and digital currencies and all of those wonderful things that we are developing in-house. We had some feedback last week. I think it started with Kelly and Elka, who were jumping into scenes and sort of noticed some functionality issues. I've asked Vlad to take a look at that and determine which of those initiatives he can resolve and which require some development assistance. And I'll be following up with him today to reach out with whoever is responsible in the internal teams to kind of help us tick all of those boxes and make sure that scenes is working as well as we possibly could. I've been working with Elka on internal communications documents, specifically welcome kit and onboarding docs for new hires. And a further update, I will be working with the team very closely to make sure that their activities are aligned with the work that's being done in Kaizen and Notion, just to make sure that there's no spinning of wheels and that everyone is working effectively as much as they possibly can. With that, I'll throw to Salah for the metrics review.
Thank you, Michael. Good morning, everyone. In terms of metrics, as I said last week, we are still refining the report by week. Here's a snapshot of the website traffic by quarter, comparison, months, and also weeks. We're still seeing positive growth across the time periods, and we're working on refining more to get the KPIs set for the traffic and for the KPIs. As for social media, we are keeping track of all social media in terms of growth. Still seeing most of the social media have a positive growth. And then with the new initiatives of the content strategy and planning, we're looking forward to seeing more like positive growth across all social media. As for the email for the email newsletters, we're sending every Thursday the newsletter for the town hall updates to all the Peerplays lists, and we're still seeing good open rate across all emails. And then we are refining the list and getting the subject lines and all the email design to get more user friendly in order to increase the open rate and click rates. That's it for the performance update for the last week. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Salah. Jonathan, collaboration update, please.
Thank you very much. Okay, for the collaboration update for this past week, we had a call with Gaming Benefits Corporation, and we discussed in more detail about the integration of Peerplays with their auditing system. Essentially, that is where Peerplays is going to be used in the regulated markets and used primarily with regulators in order to have a system of audit that they will have more proven data, as well as being able to have more efficiency. It solves a lot of issues that currently exist in the industry, and the Gaming Benefits Corporation are looking to head up that technology and use Peerplays for the back end of that. So that's still underway, and the call progressed well on that. Avalon Meta, we just after last week, we managed to be able to get the SSO and everything else integrated. It's all fully operational. Very excited about that. I did have a follow-up call with them in relation to the progress of Avalon Meta as a whole, and as well as the Scenes product. The uptake on Scenes has been quite exciting, actually, and they're getting a lot of interest from different verticals, some of it even in the crypto space, which is very good. I'm very excited to see that. So we're going to continue further discussions on that. In the meantime, we are continuing with our plans to integrate Peerplays, as I've been discussing in the past weeks, and we'll be starting on that this week, hopefully. So looking forward to that. Infrastructure. So we put together a proposal with 3Speak. We plan to meet with them this week to have a kickoff on that so that we can get underway. The work that everybody did on the team was excellent. I'm actually quite excited about this because it's the first time the team as a whole, with all the new members that we have now, have had an opportunity to put something together like this, and everyone seems to be working really well together on it. And so with the 3Speak project, that is going to integrate largely with what we're doing with Ethereum Suns and introduce new types of functionality to be able to have swap functions across multiple chains. So this is a part of what Peerplays is capable of doing. This is going to provide 3Speak a way to utilize Peerplays infrastructure for that. So this is going to be something which other projects will also be able to leverage once it's done. So that's going to continue this week. Last week, we did introduce the proposal for that and should kick off this week. So that's good. Regulations. So Government Blockchain Association has invited us to be on the panel as one of the speakers at their infrastructure conference. If you Google Government Blockchain Association Infrastructure Conference, you will find that they have this coming up this week. And Peerplays will be there. We've also have that PBSA is sponsoring the event. So there's already a notable mention of PBSA on behalf of Peerplays on their website. So you can check that out if you just go to their page. But we will be discussing infrastructure at that event. It's going to be quite interesting. I think we'll have some interesting feedback from going there. The person that's going to be representing Peerplays at that event is Sean, aka Hiltos. So he'll be speaking at that event and we'll be able to represent what Peerplays' perspective is when it comes to infrastructure. So quite excited about that, and that'll be something we'll be able to report on in the coming week. In esports, further discussion was had with our contact in South Carolina on the payment and event management system. We started to review other systems that are out there which don't use blockchain, but they use various kinds of management systems and SaaS, and we're looking at ways that we can use Peerplays to enhance that. So that discussion is still ongoing. Probably hear more on that next week. So that was on collaborations. Now with dedicated team updates. So this past week, we are down one member. Aslam, who was acting as QA for the front end, is no longer with the team. We do have other QA resources, so that doesn't mean that we are no longer with front end QA. However, because of the velocity that we're developing at now, we need more front end QA resources, which will be able to act effectively with how quickly we're outputting now. So as you can see in my notes here, we're currently reviewing some potential new QA resources. Some of the team members have already referred others that may be able to fit the skill level we're looking for. However, if you know somebody that has at least 5 years experience, have them contact Alka in Rocket Chat or go over to Peerplays LinkedIn and you'll see that there is a job posting there. We're looking for somebody who will be able to help ensure that our QA doesn't get blocked. This QA in the past has been a major issue, as a matter of fact, with our development process. If you look at our updates in the past, however, it's improved significantly since we've brought on some new team members, and we're continuing to want to improve that. So looking forward to having a new team member hopefully soon joining our team. For now, we're down a man. So that's it for our collaboration and team updates for this week.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Questions, comments, thoughts, Q&A. So there was none that came in from the community, and if there's none here, that ends today's weekly town hall meeting, September 19th, 2022. Thank you all for joining us, and I hope you have a great week.